Hello, welcome back. Today we're doing a 15-minute mobility and flexibility session, mainly focused on flexibility, so we're gonna get a bit of splits work in there, and don't worry if you can't do the splits, we're gonna work up to it. I'm gonna be walking you through the whole thing with some annotations as well, so if you enjoy this workout, make sure to subscribe because I've got loads more on my channel, and let's jump in. Okay, so we're gonna start with a little bit of a warm-up. And we're going to stretch out the calves. So we're in a downward dog position and we're doing calf pedals. We really want to ease into the stretches today because that's going to help us with our flexibility even more and make sure we don't get injured. Nice, now we're coming down to the floor. We're going to do cobra stretch. So we're coming forwards. It's a nice stretch in the back. And then back to child's pose. Cobra to child's pose. Nice, so now we're going to come into a lunge. We are going up to high lunge and down, feel the stretch and back up. We really want to ease into this one because this is going to be the first part that's going to warm up most of our lower body for when we go into the splits. We're building up to it. Now we're doing a dynamic kneeling lunge. So we're coming back. You want to feel the stretch up the back of your leg and forwards. Ease into that stretch. We want to make sure our lower body's nice and warm before we do any more intense stretches. Now we're switching sides, back to the high lunge, stretch forwards, back up. Now into our dynamic kneeling lunge. Bringing it back, flex the foot at the bottom and come forwards. Right, now we're going to do a little bit of mobility for our hip flexors because making sure our hip flexors are nice and mobile is very important. So these are 90-90s. We've got one leg at 90 degrees in front of us and one behind, and we're just rotating like that. I like doing these before my leg days as well, just to help warm up my hip flexors. Now we're going into leg lifts. So what we're doing is we're tensing our quad. You can point your toe if you want. Just to raise our leg as high as we can and back down. This is going to help strengthen our hip flexors and is really helpful to improve your range of motion in your lifts at the gym too. Your hip flexors are involved in so many exercises from squats to deadlifts. So these are really good exercises to include as part of your regular mobility work. We just switched the leg there. Exact same thing. Try and keep your back straight as well, so we're not hunching over. We want to control that leg. Nice. Now we're doing similar thing, but instead of going straight up, we're moving the leg out to the side. So imagine you're trying to lift it over a box and then back to the starting position. This one is pretty tough, so if you can't get super high, feel free to just keep it low. But yeah, ideally we want it up and over. And switch sides. The more control, the better. Cool. So spinning round, we're gonna go into cat-cow. Just to make sure our back is completely warm too. So breathe out at the bottom, in as you go up. Now we're going to come into a crouching position, and all you're going to do is extend and back down. You can do a little roll at the bottom as well if you want, just to try and warm up the ankles a little bit more. Also gets a little bit of a shoulder stretch in there too, which is nice. Cool. Now we're going to go into more splits focused work. So similar to what we did before, we're just coming forward into this lunge and we're just going to hold it here. So this is a static stretch. In all of the previous ones we were moving throughout, and that means it's a dynamic stretch. So we're not moving here, we're just holding it for 30 seconds and then move on to the next one. Nice, so for the next 30 seconds, we're coming back into that hamstring stretch. So what you can do is if you can't get all the way down, just come as far as you can. If you have to be up here, that's completely fine. Just come forwards as much as you can. And you should feel the stretch of the back of your calf and into your hamstring. We're coming back forwards again into this lunge. This is going to be our preparation for the splits. So we're just working our way, increasing the intensity, and then we'll go into the actual splits drill. Okay, so now we're moving into pigeon fold. We've just brought this leg forwards, and now you're going to fold over as far as you can. If you can get your head like at your knee, that's great. If not, don't worry, just go where you can go. Cool. So now we're going to ease our way into the splits. If you can't do the splits, that's okay. You're coming back into the hamstring stretch and you're just going to slide that front foot forwards as much as you can. Just go as far as you can. You don't have to be all the way in the splits, but as far as you can go is perfect. If you're still working up to it, go back into that forward lunge. But if you're in splits, I want you to rock from side to side because this is going to help you to get a bit further down and also make sure that you keep your hips square. So we don't want to be twisted over that way. We want to keep everything facing forwards. Nice. Cool. So now we're gonna go into the other leg, back into our forward lunge. You want to feel a big stretch down the back of your leg. Well, the front of your back leg. Now we're moving back. Flex the foot and get as low down as you can. Again, if you can only get up to here, down to here, that's perfectly fine. But if not, come all the way down. Back into our forward lunge. We're leaning forward this time as well. If you're ever feeling uncomfortable in these forward lunges, you can slightly move into it so you're not in such an intense stretch because you've got that little flexibility in the movement. Now into pigeon fold. Exactly the same as we did on the other side, getting as far down as you can. Okay, so again, we're going to go back into our hamstring stretch and slowly bring it forward as far as you can get into the splits. You will likely have one side that's more flexible than the other. This is my bad side, so I'm feeling a little bit tighter, but all I do with that is just make sure that I'm continuously moving because that helps me sort of ease into it a bit better. If you can't get this far, you can go back up. Just get as far as you can and then ease into it. Amazing. So now we're going to focus on more of the box split sort of drills. So we're coming into our froggy position and we're moving back and forwards. This is also going to help open up your hip flexors. Now we're going into straddle, and I want you to lean towards one side and just reach as far as you can towards your toe. You don't need to come all the way down. Again, we're adapting these stretches to fit your ability level because as you practice this routine, you're going to be able to progress over time, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And to the other side. It's not about being perfect, it's about progress. Okay, so we're going into straddle fold. So you're coming forward as far as you can go. If you can only go here, stay there. If you can go further, go as far as you can go. The aim is to end up getting completely flat so your chest is all the way touching the ground. I hope I'm still in frame, by the way, because I can't see it, but we're just leaning forward in straddle fold. So back up, we're gonna go into butterfly stretch. So this is another dynamic stretch. We're just sort of sitting with your feet together and you're moving your legs like butterfly wings, hence the name. Aim to try and get a little bit further each time. And we're gonna end off with child's pose. And you're done. Congratulations, I hope you enjoyed that stretch and mobility session. I'd recommend doing it 2 to 6 times a week because you need consistent practice to be able to improve your flexibility and mobility and get the splits if that's your goal. Originally, I think it took me a month or so to learn the splits, but I was practicing pretty consistently almost every single day. So keep doing this routine. Over time you will increase your flexibility, and I can't wait to hear about your progress. Subscribe, and if you want another mobility routine, check out this playlist next. See you there!